Hello there, lovely good evening and welcome to Camnet TV main news. Today, the 31st of May in the year 2024, we take a look at the headlines. Traders demand justice after demolition of shops at KAMWALA market. Membe calls for justice as opposition leaders languish in cells over hate speech allegations. The Energy Regulation Board keeps petrol price steady, hikes diesel by 1 kwacha 56 ngwe. And in international news, first-time voters share their hopes for South Africa's future. In sports news, CHIPOLOPOLO eyes maximum points in World Cup qualifiers. These and many more stories after the break.
Enjoy the benefits of an instant loan with us ranging from 1,000 kwacha to 750,000 kwacha paid express once collateral is viewed, valued and verified. Call us on 0763 595 359 or 0779 432 993. Classified Financial Express, here as your financial friend.
With the Camnet TV main news, my name is Tapelo Joe Smarter. 16 shops in Lusaka's KAMWALA market have been demolished after allegedly being sold to Chinese nationals. The affected traders, who claim to have been operating at the market for years, say they had obtained permission from the Lusaka City Council (LCC) to erect lightweight stores in 2022. The sudden demolition has sparked outrage, with traders calling for justice and questioning whether Zambians are being denied ownership of trading spaces in their own country. Details in the following report.
A total of 16 shops were Wednesday evening demolished in KAMWALA market around 22 hours. Allegations are that the shops were constructed on a Chinese national's land and the owners have come to claim what's theirs.
Come, it's your shop, come.
Yes, come and open for us.
What's open? It's your shop?
Yes,
No,
it's
not
your
in my shop.
Oh, which shop?
This one is,
Which shop is it?
is from my friend.
Which shop?
Okay.
Which shop?
God,
Which shop is it? Show us the shop.
You just follow here.
Show us the shop. Okay, let's go.
So don't touch me. Why you touch me? Why you touching me?
Let's go.
Who are you? Why you
Let's
touching
go.
me?
let's go.
Let's go.
We go. Don't
Yeah,
touch
let's
me.
go. Let's go.
Listen, don't touch
Let's
me.
go. Let's go.
Let's
go.
Camnet TV visited the traders, who disclosed that they have been trading at the same location for years on tables before they constructed iron sheet structures. They tell this reporter that before they erected the stores, they consulted the Lusaka City Council in 2022 after the Bombay drainage was closed, of which council agreed and advised them to erect lightweight structures that wouldn't damage the drainage, and they have been paying their levies since then.
So after babwero manga drainage facilities kuenda ku council taindo funsata singaike pocheto pepuka pata peti na pempa tikepo to pepuka so wanatiuza pangani malata saya ikepo mabroko nione mayanga ononge drainage nikepo malata so tinakwaniso ikapo malata through council ndebenzo tupasa ma place aya nolipira mu council ate chotapwisa mwenzo pezeka bajeri ile nzo iminira ko chipani nzo pezeka every day mwe moja na my instruction ndebenzo kufofula ndikutipasa until tasiri zolipira inangu na maofa lete anachoka so tinabwera kuno takambisana na market master onse equity na wamenya wa bajeri tinakambisana na wewe since mufuna leta po mchinese wanamuleta pa 23 March kwa 21 hours tabapesa kubawuza bajeri since mufuna leta mchinese hapa ise mtipeleka kuti olumtiganizira cyane ati yayi nzaenda kuja kuzogoro ya mashop kuzogoro ya mashop kuja ni kwa benye so ise tinabawuza since tinama imwe mupeleke mchinese wanu kwekuti anatenga wajeri 400,000 kuli tinabawuza mnatenga ndrama lezokana.
And Miss Alice, a saloon owner, says due to the demolition, she has lost close to 20,000 kwacha of wigs and saloon equipment. Meanwhile, Lusaka City Council Assistant Public Relations Manager Nyambio Bulumba has implored citizens to refrain from constructing structures illegally in any area.
The Lusaka City Council police demolished 2 makeshift stores at the KAMWALA market. The stores, which were illegally built without planning permission from the local authority, each had 6 apartments, bringing the total number of apartments to 12. We wish to therefore advise members of the public to refrain from erecting structures without the approval of the local authority. The Lusaka City Council will therefore continue to monitor the situation not only at KAMWALA but in all areas to ensure order and sanity in the way people erect their structures.
Cherished Sibote for Camnet News, Lusaka.
The Energy Regulation Board, ERB, has Friday, May 31st, adjusted the pump price for diesel and kerosene, whilst petrol remains the same. ERB Board Chairperson James Banda says the prices for diesel, kerosene and jet AI have been adjusted to 31 kwacha per litre from 29 kwacha 60 ngwe per litre for diesel and 29 kwacha 50 ngwe per litre for kerosene from 28 kwacha 39 ngwe per litre. Meanwhile, the price of petrol has been maintained at 35 kwacha 56 ngwe per litre as the changes in the wholesale price were within the said trigger band threshold of 2.5%. The prices are effective 31st May 2024. Moving on in the news and to court news, where a state witness has told the Lusaka Magistrate Court that former Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Defense, Thadi Mwale, signed a contract to single procurement of materials, among them the presidential Gulfstream jet pegged at $400 million United States dollars. Charles Lungu, 59, a director who served at the Ministry of Works and Supply in dissolution, told court that he was pressured by Mr. Mwale to include the procurement of the jet before a committee. In this matter, Thadi Mwale and others are facing 4 counts for failure to comply with the law relating to the procurement of the presidential Gulfstream jet for want of prosecution. Details in the following report.
The court of public opinion and those in the wheels of power stand at crossroads on the procurement of the presidential Gulfstream jet. In a bit of an answer before the court, a state witness from the scrapped-off Ministry of Works and Supply, Charles Lungu, 59, has told the court that former Secretary at the Ministry of Defense, Thadi Mwale, signed for a procurement of materials worth $400 million US, among them the purchase of the presidential Gulfstream jet. Mr. Lungu, a director, told the court that in 2017, the Ministry of Defense, through the Permanent Secretary, received a request to single-source procurement of items to the tune of $400 million US from Zambia Air Force and was signed by General Mbebe. And when the Ministry of Defense received authorization from the Ministry of Finance to proceed with the said procurement, the Zambia Public Procurement Authority did not object to the same. He says 4 weeks later, Thadi Mwale, in his capacity as Permanent Secretary, explained to him that the procurement of materials involving the presidential jet was urgent. Mr. Lungu testified that before the normal 4 weeks procurement procedure, Mr. Mwale pressured him to include the procurement on the agenda in 2 weeks, but emphasized the need to have a project manager for the project, which Mr. Mwale responded that SAF would manage it. The witness says the procurement committee in a meeting approved the procurement and was cleared by the Attorney General at the Ministry of Justice. In his testimony before Chief Resident Magistrate Davis Chibwidi, he alleges that after amendments started coming in, he approached Mr. Mwale, who threatened him that pressure from State House was mounting. The witness told the court that Mr. Mwale was furious with him and was allegedly transferred from the ministry on November 19, 2019 to the Ministry of Works and Supply. In this matter, Mr. Mwale is facing all 4 counts while his co-accused Isabel Chinji, Mike Ombebe, Evaristo Sakala, Frank Sinyangwe, and John Piri are only facing one count of willful failure to comply with the law relating to procurement of the presidential Gulfstream jet involving more than $573.9 million, contrary to Section 34 2B as read with Section 41 of the Anti-Corruption Act No. 3 of 2012 of the laws of Zambia. The matter comes up on July 8th to 11th for continued trial. Nelson Zulu for Camnet News, Lusaka.
Still in court news, 4 opposition political party members and 1 civil rights activist, Brebna Changala, have allegedly failed to be presented before court as sympathizers trooped to Lusaka Magistrate Court. The situation, however, angered opposition Zambian Republic leader Wright Musoma and Dunamis Miracles Church evangelist Fred Musonda. The 5 were 3 days ago arrested for hate speech and seditious practices and later charged with espionage and inciting tribal war. Details in the following report.
3 days ago, the long arm of the law pounced on 4 outspoken opposition leaders and a civil rights activist in the country for various offences ranging from hate speech to seditious practices, and have since their detention braved the code of the police cells. Thursday, 30th May 2024, in a turn of events, police slapped opposition politicians Monia Zulu, Maureen Mawonga, Edith Nawakwi, Danny Pule, and civil rights activist Brebna Changala, known for their ability to talk with more charges of espionage and proposing tribal war. According to Police Deputy Spokesperson Danny Mwale, the offences are contrary to Section 3C of the State Security Act, Chapter 111. The 5 were earlier slapped with offences of expressing hate speech based on tribe and seditious practices, allegations, all linked to the remarks they made when Petaoke Central Member of Parliament Emmanuel J.J. Banda went missing. However, as word went around of the 5 being brought before court, journalists, police officers and sympathizers trooped to the Lusaka Magistrate Court and waited for hours without show of the accused. This situation left family members and other concerned parties asking questions of what is the status of the legal provision for people to be brought before court or granted police bonds.
Do us one favor to release Professor Apostle Dan Pule from custody, to release Honorable Edith Nawakwi, President of FDD, to release Honorable Munea Zulu, a parliamentarian, to release Honorable Morini Mavoshe from custody, and those who are incarcerated. This is not the way you cement your stay in power, Mr. President.
This morning we went back to pursue the same police bond, and they told us that we'll give you the police bond in the afternoon after they have appeared in court. But there's no one here at court. There's no file here at court. There's no arresting officer here at court. We've been waiting from morning even up to now, and there's nothing that is happening. So it is our appeal that these people were arrested on Wednesday and have been in police cells for more than 48 hours.
Meanwhile, civil rights activist Brebna Changala has applied for bail pending trial before the Lusaka High Court and submitted through an affidavit that the Director of Criminal Investigations has declined that he should not be granted bail pending trial on allegation that the said director is under instructions. Mr. Changala argues that the police have no justifiable reason to deny him bond and wonders why he should be kept in custody without being taken to court. For now, the 5 continue to brace the court police cells while the weather downsides on them. Nelson Zulu for Camnet News, Lusaka.
The Human Rights Commission has strongly condemned the actions of suspected governing United Party for National Development (UPND) youths who marched to a Drug Enforcement Commission (DEC) offices on May 30th, 2024, hurling insults at the former head of state. The Commission has urged the police to take proactive action against such lawlessness, arresting those involved and putting an end to a culture of political hooliganism. According to Commission spokesperson Mwelwa Mlea, the police must protect the rights and dignity of all individuals, including the former head of state, and not turn a blind eye to such incidents.
We strongly condemn that kind of behavior by the youths. It should be noted that that kind of lawlessness and violence by political party cadres had during the previous regime resulted in violation of a wide range of human rights, including deprivation of the right to life. Many people died as a result of such kind of youth behavior, and that should not be allowed to reemerge under any circumstances. It must be acknowledged that one of the landmark achievements of the United Party for National Development UPND administration immediately after assuming the governance of this country in 2021 was to end political party cadre violence and lawlessness, and that should be upheld. We should not allow the return of that lawlessness, because we know that it is not in the best interest of the country. Therefore, we insist that the police must not turn a blind eye to such acts of lawlessness, but take proactive decision, in order to end the culture of political hooliganism. That way they will be sending a strong message to would-be perpetrators that political hooliganism no longer pays. Further, the Commission wishes to appeal to everyone, especially politicians, to refrain from violating the rights, dignity, and the reputation of their opponents, and exercise utmost decorum in their discourse.
Opposition Party Socialist leader Dr. Fred Membe has called for the immediate release and fair treatment of detained opposition leaders, citing concerns over prolonged detention periods and perceived bias in the application of the law. Dr. Membe has also accused President Hakainde Hichilema of contributing to national division rather than unity, and demands swift action to address the issue. He says the recent arrests of high-profile figures, including Edith Nawakwi, Munia Zulu, and Brebna Changala, have raised questions about the government's commitment to upholding the rule of law and protecting human rights.
We demand that the leaders who have been arrested, Madam Edith Nawakwi, Honorable Maureen Mavunga, Honorable Munia Zulu, Apostle Danipule, Mr. Brebna Changala, they must be taken to court today and given the necessary bail they deserve, since they have been denied police bond. Take them to court and ensure that they are given bail. They are trying to charge people with all sorts of offenses that appear very serious. But we know these offenses are trumped up. It's just a way of trying to hold them in police cells, to try to hold them in prisons by denying them bail. This won't do. This is unfair, unjust, and inhuman. Let's treat each other with kindness. Let's treat each other fairly and in a just manner. Good societies are not built on vindictiveness. are not built on tyranny measures. Only dictatorships, only authoritarian regimes act in this way. Mr. Hichilema left to continue on this path will destroy this country. Dr. Kaunda warned us, and that warning, we are seeing it today. We are witnessing it today.
The House of Chiefs has issued a stern warning to leaders across the country, urging them to refrain from making divisive statements based on tribe or religion. House of Chiefs Chairperson Chief Nkombo says tribal statements being flashed on social media by political and public persons pose a threat to national unity. He says the country in the last few days has witnessed many tribal and ethnic statements that have the potential to divide the nation.
It is therefore expected that all leaders, be it traditional leaders, the clergy, political and the civic leaders, should not depart from this important obligation by issuing divisive statements bordering on regionalism, tribalism, or indeed the flouting other written laws of the country. It is a well-known fact that the struggle for Zambia's independence was characterized by united Zambians under slogans like Tiende Pamozi Dimtima Umo. Further, our history is clear that after gaining independence, the people decided to live together as one inspired by the One Zambia, One Nation motto. It is therefore regrettable that as Zambia prepares to celebrate its 60th birthday, some leaders are bringing conversations of tribalism instead of economic and social development. Maintenance of peace, public peace. Ladies and gentlemen, on the maintenance of public peace, the Zambia police is mandated to maintain public order and enforce the law. In this regard, we call on the police to undertake this responsibility in a firm, fair, and a non-discriminatory manner. It is our view that maintenance of public peace is a non-negotiable issue for a safe Zambia for all.
President Hakainde Hichilema has proposed the introduction of non-stop border posts with the help of technology in the Kavango-Zambezi Transfrontier Conservation Area, KAZA. Speaking at the 2024 Kavango-Zambezi Transfrontier Conservation Area Heads of State and Government Summit hosted by President Hakainde Hichilema in Livingstone, the head of state says non-stop borders will help in reducing corruption at the border posts. Mr. Hichilema says KAZA must ensure that the natural and cultural relations among all member countries are preserved for the future generations. The KAZA region is made up of Angola, Botswana, Namibia, Zimbabwe, and Zambia.
You mentioned border management systems and other things. But we, in other platforms, we met in Victoria Falls Town. Not long ago, President Mnangagwa was host to us when we were talking about ease of doing business, trade within the continent. And we cherish the issues around one-stop border post. I made a pronouncement in Victoria Falls Town. I'm sure others were present in that meeting when we sat there. And I said, why are we priding ourselves about one-stop border post? That will be out of date. It's already out of date. We should be talking about a non-stop border post. A non-stop border post. Because we must cut the cost of doing business and bureaucracy and opportunity for corruption. This piece of asset, this KAZA region, must look at it properly. Extend the extension to the fully blown area into the 5 countries, Angola, Botswana, Namibia, Zimbabwe, Zambia, It couldn't have been brought together any better than this CASA initiative. So let us develop it. Let us realize its full potential. As I join the other speakers that have spoken already, I really think that we must be consciously saying to ourselves, how can we extract the best out of this asset in the most sustainable way?
A local non-organization advocating for sound development in the mining sector, among others, has commended Konkola Copper Mines Class 2 creditors for approving the scheme of arrangement made for the development of the mine. Advocates for National Development and Democracy Executive Director Samuel Banda says this development is a critical step to facilitate payments to KCM suppliers and contractors and open the path for Vedanta Resources to take full control of operations. Mr. Banda projects that with KCM getting to optimum operation, the government's 3 million metric tons copper production target by 2031 is achievable.
We wish to profoundly commend Class 2 KCM creditors for supporting the scheme of arrangement. To us and many Zambians, this is a progressive development. Not only that it will facilitate clearing of payment to the suppliers and contractors, but it will clearly pave the way for Vedanta Resources to take full operations of Konkola Copper Mine, begin to implement its strategic mining investment obligations, resuscitate the mining firm, and contribute to our national social economic development holistically. We are very optimistic that Vedanta Resources, with its global footprint, high technical capacity, it will resuscitate KCM and contribute to our national development. However, I want to call upon Vedanta Resources to prioritize giving strategic jobs to Zambians and business opportunities to our local suppliers and contractors. By doing so, we believe that we'll be able to grow our own domestic economy and expand our government tax revenue base. We also want to state that once KCM gets to full operations, optimum operation, it will be very easy for government to achieve its 3 million metric tons copper production target per annum.
The Lusaka Magistrate Court has declined ex-state press aide Amos Chanda's application to release his passport and seek medical attention in India on grounds that there is no proof of confirmation from a local doctor of a government institution. Mr. Chanda made the application before Chief Resident Magistrate to allow him attend medicals in India for a 2019 pre-existent condition. Despite State Prosecutor Martin Mayembe providing no objection, the court denied it. However, Magistrate Chimbwili ruled that the release of this passport will only be done when a local doctor confirms and convinces the court that the medical reports by the specialist Indian and British doctors were genuine. As such, this decision prompted Mr. Chanda to withdraw the application for the release of the passport, and the court granted the application. That particular court story takes us to our first set of commercials, but do join us for international and sports news when we come back. Do stay tuned.
Are you looking for a reliable and efficient courier company with international standards? Then let UBZ Courier, your trusted partner in swift and secure deliveries, be your ultimate choice. Whether it's a small package or a hefty consignment, UBZ Courier handles it all, locally and internationally. Our modern call center ensures personalized attention for every client. For seamless deliveries within Zambia and beyond, trust UBZ Courier. Call us now on +260 763 062 680 or visit us at plot number 15 Mwapona Road, Woodlands, Lusaka, Zambia. UBZ Kubia, a world-class brand that can be trusted.
Potatoes, the unsung heroes of flavor. From crispy chips to creamy mash, potatoes are the versatile superstars of your kitchen. Grown with love by our dedicated workforce drawn from around the community of Palavana. Savenda Farm's commitment is to see to it that we have potatoes that are grown right, healthy, big and tasty. For that quick fix or big celebration or that meal that brings family together, top chefs rely on the Savenda potato to create culinary masterpieces. And for others, it's that icebreaker to a delightful conversation. So, embrace the magic of Savenda potatoes. They're not just a side dish, they're the heart and soul of your kitchen. Savenda, save nations, develop Africa.
Attention, attention, attention! Prime land in Ibex Hill, Kablonga, Lusaka East on sale. 1 acre and 2 acres. Contact us on +260 972 300 300 or +260 962 965 883. Only serious buyers needed.
Enjoy the benefits of an instant loan with us ranging from 1,000 kwacha to 750,000 kwacha paid express once collateral is viewed, valued and verified. Call us on 0763 595 359 or 0779 432 993. Classified Financial Express, here as your financial friend.
Water is life. Each drop counts and each must be cherished. Our tried and tested product meets all international standards. With our smart drip technology, we aim to deliver precision irrigation designed to reduce blockage and wastage, ensuring a high yield. Renglow, your smart irrigation partner.
Welcome back and thank you so much for still joining us. And now in international news. As vote counting proceeds in South Africa, the 2024 general election will notably be remembered as the poll which saw the highest number of eligible voters in the country's history. First-time voters in the rural area of Nkandla, Eastern South Africa, were determined to vote on Wednesday, May 29th. 20-year-old Amale Ngane was one of them. Here is a roundup of international news.
As vote counting proceeds in South Africa, the 2024 general election will notably be remembered as the poll which saw the highest number of eligible voters in the country's history. First-time voters in the rural area of Nkandla, Eastern South Africa, were determined to vote on Wednesday. My vote today signifies a lot because there is so much that we are still hopeful for as MK to be a success. The country's electoral body, the IEC, said in February that 1.2 million new voters had been added to the roll since November 2023. Being part of the youth in South Africa, we want to see an end to poverty. That is why we came out in our numbers to vote for MK, because we have faith that the party will lift us out of poverty and place us where we envision ourselves. The MK party, which rose to prominence late last year, is the challenger in this election. Here, in the heartland of Jacob Zuma's supporters, change means an end to the rule of the ANC.
Tunisia's Kais Saied was welcomed by China's Xi Jinping in Beijing on Friday for talks to deepen cooperation between the two countries. Xi held a welcome ceremony for President Saied at the Great Hall of the People before the two started a bilateral meeting. The Chinese leader praised the relations between both countries, saying they always supported each other, no matter how the international situation changed. Under the new circumstances, China is willing to work with Tunisia to continue the traditional friendship, to deepen exchanges and to cooperate in various fields that will promote the China-Tunisia relations to a new level. After the meeting, the two leaders joined the signing ceremony, during which officials from both sides signed an agreement on cooperation in various fields, including economy, technology, health, and media. Senegal's new president, Bassirou Diomaye Faye, has said he would try to persuade the Malian junta, led by Colonel Assimi Goïta, to remain in ECOWAS. Faye said this during his visit to Bamako on Thursday, where he held talks with the Malian leader. The visit to Mali was the first leg of a journey that also took Faye to Burkina Faso, which, like Mali, is ruled by another military junta. We also discussed the question of ECOWAS. As you know, Mali is a member of the Alliance of Sahel States, and those who followed my trip to the various ECOWAS countries heard me preach this good word. I had a long exchange with the colonel, and I understood Mali's position, which, although rigid, is not totally inflexible. But we think that, at least from my point of view, we must continue to work with all the parties involved. We must not be discouraged. We must find happy ways to strengthen integration. Mali and its neighbors, Niger and Burkina Faso, all run by military juntas, announced in January they would leave ECOWAS, reversing decades of regional integration. Elected in March, Faye's recent election pledge was to bring the three countries back into the ECOWAS bloc.
And finally, in sports news this evening, Chipolopolo midfielder Emmanuel Banda says the team aims at getting maximum points ahead of the back-to-back 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifier matches against Morocco and Tanzania on 7th and 11th June 2024. Banda says players are ready to face both teams and will play to win, as they know what is at stake. The team is in camp and has their first training session today at Hero Stadium in Lusaka.
Today's training was really good. We had a good session with the boys. First training session, I think we have a few guys coming, but the level of training was good, the quality was good. I believe everybody's ready and up to the task of what we have, back-to-back games against Morocco and Tanzania. We all want to win. We want to play our hearts out and get the maximum points, for we know the goal that's at stake, which is the World Cup. We all know Morocco is a good side. They've got good players. We played them in the group stage of the AFCON as well. I think we went head-to-toe with them despite losing that game. Or going back to Morocco where we lost to Niger. But I feel it's also a motivating factor because we know how it felt when we lost to Niger. In a game, I believe we were confident to get maximum points, but this is how football is. So looking at what happened in Morocco last time, I don't think any of us wants to feel the same way we felt last time. So we want to go there and get a better result and come at home and play Tanzania with full spirits in front of our crowd, of our fans who are going to be here to support us in numbers.
And that sports item brings us to the end of today's edition of the main news on Camnet TV. But before we go, a quick recap of stories that have made headlines. Traders demand justice after demolition of shops at KAMWALA market. Membe calls for justice as opposition leaders languish in cells over hate speech allegations. Energy Regulation Board keeps petrol price steady, hikes diesel by 1 kwacha 56 ngwe. In international news, first-time voters share their hopes for South Africa's future. In sports, CHIPOLOPOLO eyes maximum points in World Cup qualifiers. We now look at the Camnet verse for the day, coming from the book of 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 verse 16 to 18. It reads, "Rejoice everyone, pray without ceasing. In everything give thanks, for this is the will of God in Christ Jesus concerning you." We end the main news on behalf of the entire production team. My name is Tapelo Joe Smarter. Good evening and God bless.